Hi,
Hello,
I'm Alice,
I'm Rihanna.
and today we are doing a Zoom call recording thingy because
Yeah,
social distancing.
working on it. We apologize for not putting up a video last week. We're trying.
Yeah, and also
Yeah,
sorry for this video coming out a day late. So,
we're working on it.
yeah, just be
Okay.
just be lenient with us. So
Yeah.
today we are gonna do our top 10 favorite movies. Disclaimer, there are gonna be like small spoiler alerts here. Not too
Mhm.
much that like it'll give
Because
away the entire plot, just
we're
enough.
going to tell you a little bit about the movies. Okay. So my number 10 is 5 Feet Apart.
Mm,
It's stop looking at me like that.
such a good
Can we?
movie.
It is such a good movie. Okay, so it's about two teenagers, like a boy and a girl. They are in the hospital because they have cystic fibrosis, which is like it's like it your immune system's really weak and it makes it like it's easier for you to catch like I don't know how to explain it. But like
So
if you're within
it's kind of like an immune deficiency.
yeah,
So like it's easier for you to catch like other like sicknesses, like a common cold would just be like staying inside for other people, but they might have to go to the hospital to get like antibiotics to help their immune system fight it off.
like especially around other patients with cystic fibrosis, they're not allowed to get too close to each other because I think there's this certain bacteria that like is really bad for them they can catch from each other. That's accurate, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't that the problem?
Yes.
Okay, so it's about this boy and girl. They both have cystic fibrosis. They're in the hospital and they fall in love, and it's it's just them like trying to work through like because they can't get close to each other, but they also like they want to because they like each other, and it's like it's their journey. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a it's a happy sad as I call it.
So my number 10 is Aladdin. I like the new live action Aladdin. The animated one's pretty good, and I also like the Broadway. But like, should I explain what Aladdin is, or do you think people know what Aladdin is?
I think people know what Aladdin is.
Yeah.
I think it's
Well,
a pretty popular movie. It's a Disney movie, so you should go watch it. But it's
yeah,
such a good movie. The music is like amazing.
honestly. Okay, number 9.
Okay, so my number 9 is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And
My number 9 is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
yes, we're so in sync.
And Ferris Bueller's Day Off is about this guy named Ferris Bueller, and he has been known to ditch school multiple times. And it's just about this one day that he skips school and he gets his friend Cameron and his girlfriend Sloane in with him, and they just go on an adventure through, what is it, New York City?
Chicago.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Chicago, and like the his principal is so annoyed that he keeps like ditching school and stuff like that. So he's trying to have
The
a fun
principal,
day. The principal commits so many felonies. Like,
he left school to search for the kid leaving school. Whenever they come back to the school, someone's like, "Where's Mr. Rooney?" It's like, "Oh, he's left school."
yeah, like oh my god, he leaves his job, he trespasses, he scares someone, I don't know, I don't even
He
know.
breaks into a house.
Yeah,
Not just trespasses, he breaks into a house.
yeah,
My number 8 is 10 Things I Hate About You. It's what?
it's such a good movie.
It's a good movie. I agree with you about this one guy named Cameron, and he moves to a new school. And he really likes this girl named Bianca, but she's not allowed to date because her father said no. And so well, the rule is she can't date unless her sister Kat dates. And so Cameron, with his friend, like cooks up this elaborate scheme so that he can go out with Bianca. And it's just really funny and it's really cute and I love it.
Yeah, it's such a good ending too.
It
I'm probably gonna be
is.
saying that for all of these movies, but yeah.
Yes, it's a
So
great ending.
my number 8 is called The Tourist, and it has Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp as the two main characters, and Angelina Jolie is an Interpol agent, and she's like trying to run away from these other like police and other Interpol agents. And she finds Johnny Depp, which is an American, and well, he's playing as an American in Italy, and she like shows him around the town and all this, and like there's stuff with like the mafia and stuff in it. It's just like really good because it shows like them coming together as characters, but also has like some thrilling action in it of them trying to escape. But it's really nice. It's a good twist at the end too.
My number 7 is the Avengers movie. Well, I guess it's movies. I guess this is more than one movie. I guess it's just like all the Marvel movies, but I picked the Avengers just because it's so like iconic as like the first.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm not going to explain to people what the Avengers movie is because I think a lot of people know.
Yeah, my number 7 is The Greatest Showman, and it's about I remembered his name this time, P.T. Barnum, and he was like the first. I just realized they won't get that, but it's fine. He's like the first circus person. Circus? He's not a performer. I don't know. Circus man. And he like makes a circus, and it's about like his life traveling around and like the mistakes he made through it. And it's just such a good. It's a good story, and I love the dancing and the singing. It's great. But I don't think it really portrays like his actual character because in real life he was like kind of a jerk and not very nice to the other circus performers he hired. So in that sense, it wasn't very good. But Hugh Jackman's great, so you had to make him a little nicer.
My number 6 is Ocean's 11. It's a heist movie with Brad Pitt and George Clooney, where they basically decide they're gonna rob 3 casinos, but like the most like secure casinos there's ever been, and they pull it off, and it's pretty cool. And like, it's just a good movie. I like heist movies.
Yeah, the plan is also so good.
I know. I'm just amazed at like their plan for this.
Mm-hmm. 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, my number 6 is Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber on Fleet Street. So this is like horror comedy movie. It is also a musical. 5 out of the 10 on my list are musicals. You can tell what I like. But it's about this guy named Sweeney Todd, and he's a barber. And there's this judge that sent him to jail for foolishness, but then that same judge takes his like wife and his baby daughter, and Sweeney Todd's just in jail. Then he comes back, and he comes back for his revenge, and it's just basically like his journey through that and making a name for himself. And it's really interesting. The gore is very, I want to say like cartoonish. Like you can definitely tell that this was like not A1 gore, but it's still pretty good, and the songs are great. It's like is a really like weird undertone to it, and there are a bunch of twists in it, and I love it. I'm probably gonna watch it this week.
My number 5 is Les Mis. I know I love this movie. It's like seriously, I don't cry at movies, but this one like almost got me. Like even just when I rewatch it, I'm just like, I love it. You know, because I guess like in a nutshell, it's about this French guy named Jean Valjean, and he gets out of prison, and he's being hunted by this prison person for like really no reason. Like what is he doing? Nothing. And he hunts him down for a good like 20 years of his life for no reason. And then there's a love triangle, and then there's war, and there's everything in this movie.
Yeah.
So like
there's like action, there's romance in it. There's some funny like there's funny characters in it, but there's also like it's also really sad and kind of like a Shakespearean tragedy almost, but it's so good. So my number 5 is What Happened to Monday. So what this movie is about is it's set in a post-apocalyptic, oh my God, again, post-apocalyptic, am I pronouncing this right?
Apoc- apoc- Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptical, a
Sure.
post-apoc. Okay, you know what we're trying to say.
Post-apocalypse.
It's set in like that kind of world, and it's about how everyone can only have one child because they're running out of like resources like food and housing and stuff like that. But this one woman gives birth to 7 girls, and they are named Sunday through Saturday. So what they did is they wanted to have all of them live. So what would happen is like Sunday would go out Sunday, Monday would go out Monday, and so on and so forth. Until one time when they're in like, I think they're like early 30s, late 20s, Monday just doesn't come home. So then they're like, what? Like, where is she? So then it's just set on like their adventure on how to figure out what happened to Monday.
Okay, so my number 4 is The Lion King, the original like animated one from like the 90s. I just love it. Okay, I like the music. Scar is my favorite Disney villain, and like Be Prepared is like my favorite Disney song ever. I don't know why, it just is. I just like the movie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
that
think
is
we
a good
talked about
movie.
this in the other one, but how mean it was for their parents to call
Yes.
him Ash, to call.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
just
like
setting your son up for failure. If you just
I
name them
know.
trash and another one like King or something like that.
Yeah, because Mufasa's king and then Taka is trash.
Yeah.
And then he renamed himself Scar after failing to get his brother killed. But like, gosh, how rude.
I know, right? Like my number 4 is Chicago. So I'm talking about Chicago the movie. I know it was originally on Broadway, and that one was that was good. So if you don't know what Chicago is about this girl, well, this woman named Roxy Hart, and is taken in the 1920s, and she wants to be a jazz singer up on the stage and having an affair with another man, but she also has a husband. Thank you. And he's like, I'm gonna leave you now. And she's like, no, you're not. And she shoots him. So then she ends up going to jail, and it's just based on how she gets out of jail and then what she does afterwards. So it's pretty interesting. It's a musical. I already said that, but it's so good. The dancing's
It's so,
nice. How they incorporate like the musical in there is pretty interesting, and you don't really understand it until the second song how the musical is actually happening. But it's really
right.
good, and I would recommend watching it.
I know. Okay, number 3. My number 3 is Les Choristes. It's a French movie, and I watched it for the first time in French class, but I like it anyway. Basically it's about these like it's a school for troubled boys, and like these boys, like no one's helping them. There's no hope for them. And like the headmaster of the school, he's mean and abusive, and they're like it's like action reaction, like they don't get to have any fun. And so this prefect comes in, and he wants to be like a musician, and he harnesses like their singing power, and they become like musicians, and it's told like in a it just like went really bright. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah,
told
I
in a
know. I
flash.
accidentally like clicked out.
Yeah,
Continue.
it's told in a flashback from like 50 years. So it's like the boys when they're older and successful because he helped redeem them. And it's a good movie, but it's also like a happy sad movie, as I call them, where it ends happy, but it also ends sad. I think it's a good movie, but I watch it with the subtitles because I don't understand French.
I feel that. My number 3 is 5 Feet Apart. We already explained this movie earlier, but I just really like it. just like from what she said earlier, just like the story and the romance between them. It's just such a good movie. And oh, the ending gets me every time. It's just so
It,
good. I
it's a
mean,
happy sad.
yeah. You realize that most of the movies that we have on here are like overlapping on each other's lists, or the other person's like, oh my God, I love that movie too, because it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Nope,
Yes.
5 Feet Apart has 2 happy sads in it. Okay. Number 2. My number 2 is American Graffiti. It's like it takes place in like the 50s, I believe. It's about these like 4 high school friends. Well, they've graduated high school, and it's like their last night before they all go off their separate ways to college. And so they have this like whole long night the movie takes place in. They're just driving around in their cool cars, and they get into like a whole bunch of trouble because it's like the 1950s. So there's like car races, and there's like relationship drama, and there's like the gang drama of the 50s. Not like violent gang drama, but like the gangs that like to cause trouble. And then like it's just a good movie. It's about growing up, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds like a good movie.
I like it.
My number 2 is Les Miserables. And yeah, we already explained this one too, but I just put it higher on my list because I just love it so much. Just a great movie.
I know.
All right, before we get to our number ones, we're gonna do some honorable mentions.
I guess by honorable mentions, we mean we're going to go off on the tangents about other movies that we like. Okay. So from her list, I really do like Chicago and The Greatest Showman. I forgot about them. Whoops. Some other ones. I do like The Parent Trap. I like
Which
Love
one?
Simon. I like the original one with Lindsay Lohan. That's not the original one.
That's
The one
not
with
the
Lindsay
original.
Lohan.
The second one, but that's our original one because that's when we were young and we forgot that there was the one before that.
Yeah. I also like Love Simon. That's a really good one.
Oh my God, I forgot about Love Simon. I cried in that one too, but it was so funny.
Let's see. What else do I like? I like a lot of movies.
I like Grease. American Graffiti just reminded me of Grease. It's so good. I like the original, and then I like the newer one with all like the big stars in it, you know what I'm saying? And they're going through the Hollywood studios to film it and stuff. And it's live. That was so cool. When they had like a bunch of crowds everywhere, it was such a good one.
Everything's a good movie.
Yes, Everything. Such a good movie.
I love it. Pretty Woman is really good. I like that one.
Yeah, because that reminded me of Breakfast at Tiffany's. Breakfast at Tiffany's is such a good movie. She's a little insane.
She's totally insane. But like it's great at the same time.
Yeah. It's a little hard to follow along to at first, but then you're like, I mean, like I kind of get it, but I was still left a little confused at the end of it. But it was so funny that it just made up for it. Yeah. But I do like multiple other horror movies. It's just that one's like a musical and it's like so many twists and I just love it so much. But some other horror movies that are good is like The Conjuring, the Chucky movies, Hush, and it's about this woman that's deaf in like the woods because that's where the best horror movies take place. And this guy comes to rob her and it's just really interesting.
Okay, the Titanic.
Yes. Rihanna just recently watched the Titanic.
For the first time. I don't like sad movies, so I avoided watching it because I don't like to be sad and I already knew how it ended, okay? But I watched it and it's such a good movie. Okay, I love the movie.
We're gonna talk about the end, by the way. But I mean, I would say like spoiler warning, but if you don't know how the Titanic ends, where have you been?
I know.
Honestly, so like even if it's not the movie, the real Titanic.
So obviously, she survives on the door, and he dies like hanging onto the door, which I find so creepy how she's holding his hand after he's dead for so long. I think it's so creepy, but it's also like so sad when she lets go.
Yeah.
Anyway, not the point.
Yeah.
Not the,
I mean,
my
okay,
point.
to you people out there that are saying they both could fit on the door, yeah, they could both fit on the door. But they established earlier that if they were both on the door, then they would sink.
Yeah. Because they're trying to get on the door, and then he tries to get on the door, and it's sinking into the water, which is why he stays off the door. So I understand that part. Not mad about that part. The part that I'm mad about is that she got fully submerged in the water. She would have died of hypothermia. She would not have made it. It didn't work that way. The temperature was freezing. They established early, like super early in the movie, how cold that water was. There's no way. She wasn't like a little wet. She was soaked.
Yeah, her entire dress was like soaking. Her hair was soaking wet. I mean,
we went way off topic. Okay, number one.
Number one. What's your number one?
My number one is Dirty Dancing. I mean, I love this movie. I can't help it. Like, the first time I saw it, I'm not kidding to you, the first time I saw it, I watched it, and like immediately after I watched it again, and the next morning I woke up and I watched it again, and then I watched it again. So I'm like, I'm really crazy. No, but I love it. I think, okay, it's about Baby and Johnny. You know, they're at this like resort thing for the summer because her father helped out the owner. And so they meet, and he's like, I need someone to help me dance. And she's like, I'll do it. And so they're like getting to know each other, and they really don't like each other, but then they really do like each other. It's a roller coaster, but I likes it.
Yeah. And then the ending is so iconic.
I know.
Like, I've used the word iconic at least 10 times in this movie, but
yes. But it's so great.
Yeah. My number one is 10 Things I Hate About You. It's such a good movie. I mean, she already explained it, but I just love it so much. I'm honestly gonna watch it this week because it's such a good movie.
I'm gonna watch it this week. I have a long list.
Yeah, same.
No, it is a really good movie.
Yeah. Now you know more about us.
Yes.
So comment if you want to see us do more of like our top 10 of things, or just say more things just about us in general, I guess.
Yeah. Or comment what your favorite movie is, or what movies you think we would like.
Yes, please.
Because we are stuck at our houses, and so I welcome movie suggestions as long as they're not scary or sad.
I'll watch the scary and sad movies.
I will not.
Then after I watch them, I will comment you back and be like, so I watched it. Same with Rihanna. Thanks so much for watching.
Yeah.
We're just keeping it real. Yeah, it's not gonna line up, but it's okay.
Stay safe.